Hello there, my name's Vince from My Mate Vince, and in this video today we're going to be trying to fix up my very own camera. So I'm filming this on my old camera that I used to use maybe in 2015, 2016, 2017. So I have had one of these for quite a while. This is actually my second one. I managed to drop my first one and then I couldn't get it working. Took it apart, complete nightmare, hence the reason I'm filming this one, and I think the fault was on the bottom board. But yeah, with this one, it's still working, but it's really annoying. I can't change between HD and 4K. The touchscreen is no longer working, so I can't delete anything on the memory card via the camera itself. This is a problem for me because when I do my trying to fix videos, I have to have it in HD because I output on HDMI so I can see what I'm doing. I have a separate big screen down here because I can't be looking up at a tiny viewfinder to see if everything's in shot and to see what I'm doing when I'm doing micro soldering. But then when I do my how-to videos on other channels, I put it in 4K because I don't need to have a separate screen. And right now, it's been hit and miss for a while, but the last time I went to use it, I couldn't get the touchscreen to work at all. So it's time, unfortunately, that we try to fix it. So the camera works when I press record, but look at this. I'm on HD right now. I want to change it to 4K and I can't. I can't do anything here. And if I was to go to, well, there is a few buttons here, but if I go to here, play, I can't actually go through anything to play and delete. You can see there's nothing happening. Now, I presume it's going to be a ribbon cable problem because it's been hit and miss. So maybe 1 in every 3 goes it will work. So I've been putting up with this for a few months now. But now that it's broken completely, I have to take the risk to take it apart to try and fix it, because as it is, it's kind of useless to me. So I am going to be taking it apart, and because I've already had one of these that I've broken, as far as from memory, the touchscreen worked fine. So I'm going to see if I can replace maybe the ribbon cable from that one onto here, or maybe this whole thing and the ribbon cable onto here. So I know, because I've been in one of these before, but it was a long time ago, that it was a complete and utter headache. So I thought I'd film it and see if it might be slightly entertaining. It's something that I really need working because these things are about £800, so I don't want to just break it for the sake of a video trying to be entertaining and maybe doing something which is a bit risky. I need to get this working. So let's bring it over to the mat. Fingers crossed by the end I won't have made it worse and I might actually be able to use the touchscreen again. Let's get started. Now this is very awkward for me because I'm looking up at the tiny viewfinder. This is all, my whole setup is made for this, not my little handheld from years ago. I'm hoping you're going to be able to hear me okay. This is my old one. So what I'm hoping to do is to see if I can swap out this whole screen here and this ribbon cable over to this one here. Now that I think is going to be easier said than done. I had a look on YouTube. So obviously I took apart this ages ago, I think before any videos existed, but I can't remember how I've done it. Luckily now there are 2 videos on YouTube, one by Haxby Shed and another one by Love Your RV and Boat, and they both say that the ribbon cable is failing on here. This little bit here is where it's failing. And they think, and I think they are spot on, they're saying it's when you have the mount on here, it's putting pressure on here. And I think that could well be true because I have this sat vertically above me and there's a lot of weight there, isn't there? It's mounted here and it is, you know, it's heavy here, and I think it is putting pressure on this bit here, and I suppose after years this bit fails. So I'm going to see if I can take apart this one. Now I know I've taken all this apart before, but it was so long ago I've completely forgotten how to do it. It's just going to be a case of undoing all the screws I can see, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get this right. So to begin with, let's see if I can just take off this whole hinge area on this one. So I'm going to be lifting up that little tab. Is that a tab? Yes, it is. There. Taking out the ribbon cable here. And now Is that, see, that's glued onto here, so I don't want to peel that because that's going to risk breaking it. So I need to kind of take off this whole metal frame, and I want to try to take out this whole hinge assembly, which I don't know how to do. I think that's on this here. Right, I can see a screw here. It sounds easy swapping this from here to here, but I know it's going to be very, very, very hard. So I think the fault before is on this board somewhere here, but I can't see anything wrong with it. So I can see another screw here. So I'm wondering, do I have to take off this whole frame, I wonder? You know, this whole metal bit. Let's keep on doing screws for the time being. You can see the gimbal. That balances it all out. Another thing I've noticed, but it could be just me getting more shaky, is that I seem to remember I had a nice stable image. Now when I use this when it's not on the tripod, when I'm watching back the video it seems to be really shaking everywhere. But I think it's because I'm speaking and doing this at the same time, and maybe I'm being overly animated, or I might be getting shaky over time, because when my friend uses this to film me on another channel, then it seems rock solid. So I think when I'm speaking I must be just shaking a little bit. This is going to come out there. Look, and there's a couple of screws. Oh, a couple of screws here. Also, why is that so magnetic? I don't know what that's about. Another thing, I have dropped this once and this broke here. I don't know whether I can swap that over at the same time, but that's just a bit of plastic. Apologies, there's going to be lots of this that is out of the viewing frame because I can't see what I'm doing via the camera. Oh my word. Wow. Okay, if there's any way I can get that onto here, I think I might be okay, but that really is easier said than done. I feel less bad about this breaking now if it can go on to repair my one, and there's still plenty of other parts on this that could be used to fix. So it's always good not to throw away something when you have the same item, because you can use that for spares to fix up other things. Because I'm sure if I was to buy that on eBay, I bet you that would be, well, it's not going to be available, but if it was, I bet you it would be £100, because I think faulty ones of these still go for, you know, 100 or more. Working ones seem to still go for £500–600. So, okay, let's take this out. Let's take this out. Now, it's just a case of undoing everything. So I am going to just undo all the screws I can see. Already that's different. So that is a self-tapper. That's a machine screw. But I'm going to try to keep them in the same sort of location, so all these four will be together. And the reason I can't just leave it on 4K is because you see the HDMI out here, that's connected to a monitor down here that I look at, and that's why I'm hurting my neck now trying to look up at the viewfinder on this old camera that I've got. But you can only record in HD when it outputs on HDMI. But if I'm doing a how-to video, I can do that in 4K because I don't need a screen. I'm just, you know, kind of moving around an item. So if I had the option to do 4K and output here, then I probably wouldn't really need to fix this. It's a shame, I didn't realise that until after I bought it. Hold on a minute. So this should be, possibly, could this be an easy one to replace? Do I have to go up here? Oh wow. Result. So I should be able to replace that one then with the one from here, wherever that is. I hope I have, worryingly, where is it? Let me just check in my garage to see if there could be any more of it. Hallelujah! I found more bits in there. Also worrying, you can see how much I had to take apart to even get to the those bits there. So actually that part's okay, it's just this little thing I need. Brilliant, I've got it here. This is it here. Results, so I've got this. Well, that's good. And that goes there. Okay. I did actually start filming this one, but when I couldn't find the problem, I just couldn't be bothered to do any more of the video. But from memory, it was, I'm pretty sure I found the fault, the fault was going down to here. It wasn't, I think what was happening is, it wasn't recording. So it didn't matter what I put in, what memory card I put in, it wasn't being read. And I only dropped it from knee height. I was just carrying it across the room with, you know, just above my knee, holding down, dropped it, fell, and that was it. Okay, I really am just undoing all the screws that I can visibly see, and when a bit of plastic unclips, it will uncover more screws, and then I undo them and take off another bit of plastic which uncovers more screws. So this process goes on for quite a while. These things are super complicated because look how much tech is packed into such a small device. They really are a marvel of engineering. But yeah, if I'm honest with you, they're not nice to work on. If you did it over and over again on the same one, you get to know where every single screw is and you get to know every single part of it. But when you're just doing this as a one-off, it's not easy. They're not easy to get into, and I presume they're going to be even harder to put back together. Anyway, while I'm doing that, let's give a shout out to the My Mate Vince Massive. They are the top level Patreons. This month the members are Keemon Services, Kip Hakes on YouTube, Max Rokotansky, Chris Seal, Felipe at MrKeebs.com, DJVG, Pixie, Russ Melanson, Rickard Bergland, Shamsa Al Sawadi, Stuart Park, Stephen from the Broken Past on YouTube, Lee Benz, AJ Computer Services UK, Chris Bayans, Victor B and Garin Shaw. So a massive thanks to each and every one of you. Anyway, as you can see, we are making headway into this, but I have to undo a speaker cable. That should be no bother, should it? Haha. We are in. There's a little speaker there. Oops. Wow, that's hard to get out. Wow, you are tough to get out. Annoyingly, I can't. Normally with ones like that, I grab the wires and just pull, but I just can't get it. So it's that little one here. I'm going to try doing it on the wires. No. Oh my word. Oh, there we go. That is, no, I've ripped it off completely from the board. Well done, Vince. Look at that. Oh, I've done the whole, look at that, I've done the whole trace. Ha ha. Amazing. I've done the whole trace. I've done really well there. Now, I know this sounds like an excuse, but I'm not actually bothered about the speaker, because the speaker is just, when you open it up, it kind of goes, and then I suppose when you're watching back the video, you can hear it. Do you know what? That is useful, actually. Sometimes I need to, the odd time I need to watch back the video. Oh no, really messed up there. Really messed up there. Ah, Vince. Now, I wonder how I can even get to that board. Deary me, it's sandwiched right in the middle. What a nightmare! Who would have thought that that would have tripped me up from what could have been a relatively easy-ish fix, because I think I've got to this bit now, to suddenly a nightmare. Let me take this out anyway, and then see if it will give me a bit more room to look closely at it. See, I kind of need my normal setup even to fix that, because I can't really see what I'm doing, unless maybe I look at it under the microscope. Right, okay, where are we now? So I want to take off, hold on a minute now, I've got to take off these things underneath here, haven't I? Yep, with about another 30 screws, uncovering plastic, which uncovers more screws, which uncovers plastic, which uncovers, guess what? Yes, more screws. I'll tell you what, why don't we put the battery in before I take apart anything else and see if the touchscreen starts working when we press this bit here. So am I okay now? Yeah, I think so. Right, in. Is it going to come alive? Yes. Yes, that just suddenly went. Oh, I've unplugged, whoops, hold on, I've unplugged the ribbon cable. 1 second. Let's see if this has the same fault as the others. Right, we're in there. I like the way that that suddenly locks in. There, look at that, that was nice. Right, okay. So you can see nothing's happening. Maybe you can't. Yeah, now let's press this here. No. See, mine might be a different fault. Let's lift that out a bit. Oh, there, working, you see? Yeah, same fault. But remember, I haven't got the speaker, because normally you hear it go beep. Right, okay. So yeah, definitely the same fault as all the others. I suppose you could argue it's a design fault, but then maybe most people don't have it down like this on a mount, you know, forever and a day. Like it would be hours on end down on a mount here, way more than any other position. Maybe if you had it upright like this, there wouldn't be any pressure going down on that there. I suppose you could argue though it's still a design fault. It's been a couple of minutes, so I better get back to undoing more screws. Oh, we've got another screw here. Yay! Right, if I hadn't broken the ribbon cable here, then it would be a case of now putting that back on and the impossible task of putting it back together. But I've just got to think about this speaker now. I've got to be careful because I'm not doing this for the video, I'm doing this for me, and I can live without the speaker. But if I could swap this board out, because I've got the board, no way, I've broken it on this one as well. Well, there you go. I've broken it on this one. Look. Maybe I wasn't even aware that I broke it on this one. So I've done the same thing twice because it is such a nightmare to take off. I'm just going to have a real close look here to see if there's any way that I can bodge it up. So we have two little ones here going up to there. So the reason it's so hard is I can't fit this under the microscope, it's too big because I need it vertical. I can't take the board out because it's sandwiched between loads of other boards. It would involve so much more dismantling, and I honestly think so far I've probably undone 50 screws just to get to this stage here. It's amazing how complex this thing is. Probably not coming across in this particular video because I'm using a tiny camera overhead, the resolution's not great, and I appreciate the audio and everything sounds pretty awful, but I normally use the camera I'm trying to fix here to zoom in on things, and I've got a nice big monitor so I can see what's going on. I cannot see anything here even with my glasses on, so I'm having to use my eye loop, and because I'm using my eye loop it means I'm a few inches away from the device, all you're going to see is the back of my head. So let's cut to the video now when I've super glued the connector back onto the board, because originally it would have been soldered on with little anchor pins. Well, everything's been ripped off. And then I've run tiny wires. Originally I was going to use 0.3mm, but there's not enough room, so I've used, I think it's 0.1mm, might even be slightly less. And I've just run tiny wires from the remains of the track, both tracks, up to this connector. So let me show you that now, and then we need to put some UV mask on to make it all nice and solid. Oh my word, I can't tell you how hard that was. Like, I was trying to look through here, but then the soldering iron is like this close. You know, because you've got to get so close to it and you're worried about burning your face up. I really, like, I wouldn't be able to go back now to my old camera, because I need to have the massive screen in front of me to see any hope of doing that. But anyway, I've done it, but I couldn't use the 0.3mm wire. I used this here, which I think is 0.1. It might even be less. So I don't know if the speaker's going to work the same as it did before, but I'm hoping it is, because the tracks are going to be super small anyway. Right, I don't know if it's working, because I'm not even going to attempt to kind of plug it in and unplug it. Plugging it in is going to be the last thing I do. But if I go to continuity and actually go onto the pins of the... you can't see, hold on. If I go onto the pins, I haven't got a short, so I am on the pins now. I haven't got a short, so the wires are not touching together. And if I go onto diode test, I'm not saying this proves it works, but the wires must be going somewhere, because look, if the wires were not going anywhere, it would be the same as this lead not touching anything, and I wouldn't get a reading there. But if I go onto the right hand pin, I have a reading of 0.84. And if I go onto the left hand pin, I have a reading of 0.8. Yet we know we haven't got a short between them. 1.45 when we go between them. That would be a short there. So it might be okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some solder mask, and I'm going to just try to put it across the wires, and then I'm going to set it with my little UV lights here. And I'm hoping then they will be forever enshrined in UV mask. I'm going to get some quick dry stuff, quick cure I should say. Right, I've got this new UV super quick drying ink. That's going to be ample. This stuff really is amazing. It goes off so quick. So let's zoom in, spread it around, and then hopefully you'll see how quick it goes off. I will leave it longer, but it goes off so quick. Now I'm going to put that down here. I was so worried because that connector there is so close, and when I was trying to tin up the pads, I could see the connector changing colour a little bit, so I hope I haven't ruined the connections there. That would be disastrous, because this would have worked fine without the speaker. I'm trying to think, would I have done the speaker if I wasn't doing the video? I'm not sure if I would or not, which is silly, because I want this to be a fix for me, not the channel, you know, because I want this to work, so I don't want to spend £800 on another one. Anyway, watch this. So we'll do this in real time. I think it might have already gone, but I will leave it longer, so check this out. Oh my word. It's already gone. I know it won't have gone underneath that, but if you have a look here, look at that, you can see it's already, I think it's gone, but I'm going to do it longer anyway. It's miracle stuff, because the reason I rarely use a UV mask is because I hate waiting ages for it to dry. I might leave it at that. It's miracle stuff. Got it from AliExpress. Right, so let's test it one more time. On diode test. Oh, I got worried there. I wasn't on diode test. Yes. Because once you put the UV mask on, it becomes a lot harder now to fix again. Right, that is on both of them. Brilliant. Okay, I've now got to try to get this somehow back together. So we're going to take the screen and the ribbon cable from the older camera because there was nothing wrong with them, and we're going to put it on the new camera. Hopefully now this camera is going to be working absolutely perfectly. So I've done that. We're about to turn it on. Let's see, is it now going to work nice? Let's try to put this ribbon cable in. Doesn't seem to want to line up the same. That's definitely under a lot more strain, even though I think we're in the same position. I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh no. Oh no, Vince.
Ha ha.
Now, does that mean I've ruined something? Or is the screen not compatible? That's very, 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 very bad. Right, let me, I'm going to have to see if the other screen is still working, so I'm going to have to undo what I've just done up. Maybe they're not compatible. Or maybe when I try to solder the speaker on, I've ruined it. Irritating. Anyway, let's put the original screen back on just to see if the screen works. Clearly the touchscreen isn't going to work, but have I messed something up when I was soldering on the tiny wires for the speaker? Or is the other screen not compatible, even though these two camcorders look identical? Oh, there we go. So either there's something wrong with the screen, or it's just not compatible. I don't think it's compatible. How annoying. Right, now, is there any way that I can just get this working? Yeah. I don't think it's going to last though. On one of them, I think it was Love Your RV and Boat. I could be wrong. No, I think it was. I think he put a bit of foam in here and then got it working, but I don't know how long it worked for. I looked in the comments section, but there was no update to see if it was still working. Do I want to mess with trying to do the ribbon cable? I suppose what I could do is I could take apart this, and if it's possible, the ribbon cable might well be the same, it might be the screen that's different. What I could do is, if I look very closely, I can see on this ribbon cable that it's got kind of bits on this side here. I can see the pins look spaced out. So maybe I could take this off and see if the pins are spaced out here as well, because the ribbon cables might well be the same, or they might be completely different. So they're all spaced out on the right hand side. And these are spaced out on the right hand side. As far as I can see, they are the same. The ribbon cables seem to have the same, the same spacing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take apart the screen, my spares and repair camera. I'm going to take the screen apart off that because I never had a problem with the ribbon cable or the screen on that one, but clearly the screen is incompatible with my newer camera, even though as far as I can see these cameras are identical. So I am going to take the ribbon cable out from the older screen and try then to put it on the newer screen. If I break everything when I take apart the older screen, of course I'm not going to touch my screen, but if it comes apart easy enough, then I'll take apart my current screen and try to put the older ribbon cable in it, and you never know, it might well work fine, because it might be the screen itself which is incompatible and not the ribbon cable. They might share the same ribbon cable. And sound very nice. Right, okay, haha. Now, if the ribbon cable was the same, could I just somehow keep the hinge so I didn't have to get involved in all this rubbish here, and just swap out the innards? How does a hinge even come apart? Oh, we've got 2 more screws here. If we were to, let's undo this here. I'm going to get mixed up on what's what. I should really be putting a mark on this. This is the good ribbon cable. There we go, right. So that's there and that's stuck on there. So that's, so far that's good. There, okay. Now I need to undo that and that. 2 more screws. Apparently, according to Huxley's Shed, you can look at that. You can get the ribbon cables from AliExpress. I don't know where that screw went. Oh, here it is. Right, okay. So surely that has to be the same across both of them. Yes? So let's give it a go. Let's be brave and give it a go, because I'm not convinced by just pushing that out there that it's going to last very long. So let's undo these. Yes. Yes. My word. So far it's actually going all right. So undo that there, and they look identical. Oh look, no, can you see here? We've got capacitors and resistors and stuff here, and we haven't here. So the screens are definitely different, but they might be just different from this moment forward. Oh no. I don't know. I'm not sure. So now, we want to get rid of that, and we want to put this one on. I think it goes that way. There. Let's get a couple of screws in. And that's there. That needs to be stuck down there like that. Now we need to put the cover back on. Reminds me of the Nintendo 3DS, you know, with the curve, the ribbon cable going around the hinge for the top screen. There we go. Well, that wasn't an absolute nightmare. Now, so we have the original screen with the other ribbon cable. Let's see. Let's see if it's going to work. Let's go here. Knowing me now, I've probably ended up getting a massive hair on the inside of this lens, which is going to render it useless. Okay, the moment of truth. Are you ready? Are you going to work? Come on. Come on. Yes! Come on. Yes! Is the touchscreen going to work? What?
Ha ha!
You're kidding me. What? Oh, Vince! No, that's just not fair. That's not fair. Ah, it must just be a different ribbon cable. Ah, heartbreaking. I tried my best. I think you can buy them, so. Yeah, not working. Not at all. How disappointing. How disappointing. I actually feel a little bit hard done by. Oh well. I am going to put the other ribbon cable back on and just try to pad it out. So disappointing. So I found a nice little corner, had a little cry, and then once I pulled myself together, I put this back to how it was originally. So all this swapping around with the spare parts didn't do absolutely anything, which is just amazing when everything looks the same, but it's just not. It looks the same, but the screen could be from a different manufacturer and may work on different pins. Maybe the touch screen works on different pins, and then when I'm using the other ribbon cable, for all I know, I only looked at one side of the ribbon cable. It might be crossed somewhere, or the other side might be different. So yeah, it's all back together now the same way as it was when I started the video. Let's try to jam a bit of thermal pad into that ribbon cable to see. You never know. It might last 5 seconds. It might last 5 years. I know I'll be able to hopefully buy one of these. I just need to be a little bit careful because I already know that ribbon cables that fit do not work. So I'd have to have a look on AliExpress to see, are there loads of different ribbon cables for different models. I've also got to look at my model number, and not the main model number, but you know, the serial number, and see if that's different than my older serial number. As in, I know serial numbers are different, but you know what I mean. Like, you know, when you look at a car, you go by the VIN number, and there might be a certain VIN number between, you know, like 1 and 10,000 that certain parts were used in, and then from 10,001 to 50,000 different parts might be used in, and it might be the same here. If I look on AliExpress and they only have one type of ribbon cable for the FDR-AX43, I know that is incorrect because I've proved it in this video that different ribbon cables do not work. There is a slight chance that because this old one has been in the garage for a few years, that the ribbon cable has gone faulty. I just think it's highly unlikely because it's been up on a shelf and it hasn't been touched in years since it failed and I took it apart. And the thing it failed on was not the touchscreen, it was the recording on an SD card. So yeah, let's cut to the video now when I'm trying to ram a bit of thermal pad into that bend of the ribbon cable to see if it could possibly be a lasting fix. Anything's better than nothing. Now, these might put it under too much strain, but let's give it a go. So I am going to go here and here. So a massive thank you to the other 2 YouTube channels, I'll mention them again, Haxby Shed and Love Your RV and Boat, because they made it so much, you know, I would have been all day trying to find out which ribbon cable was at fault. I would have guessed it was this one, but I would have thought it was where it's going around the hinge, not here. But it's the crease. It's the crease on here that's gone. So massive thank you. Let's try to squeeze that in here somehow. Need to lift it up really. I think this might be too fat. Oops, careful Vince, careful. Let's go in. By pure force. Now I wonder, would that do if I broke that there? I wonder would that do? Let's see. It might keep on compressing and then just fail really quick. Yes, we have the screen back. Now, are you going to work? Yes, you are. Okay, I think we'll leave it at that. Let's try and get it back together. Let's see if other parts of the screen's working. Yeah. Wireless. Okay. And can I change it from HD to 4K? Yes, I can. Well, that's all I really want. Alright, I'm just going to give that a little press down and see if it stops working. No. You know what? That could be a temporary fix that may last. May last. Okay, I have got the undesirable job of trying to get this back together now. How am I going to bother filming that? I don't think there's any point because there's going to be a massive headache. It is just a reversal of taking it apart, but there's going to be lots of mistakes along the way and I don't want the video to go on forever. So I am going to do this in my own time, relaxing, and yeah, I'll let you know if anything goes disastrously wrong.
A couple of days later.
Right, let me just bring you up to speed. I did actually continue on this video, and what I did is I rammed a thermal pad in this little connection here, and then I put a bit of hot glue and the camera worked, and I finished up the video. In fact, I edited the video up, and then a day later I went to do the touchscreen again. It was all working by the time I finished. Went to do the touchscreen again and it had failed. And then I thought, okay, let's see. I thought at the time there was two different ribbon cables, and this ribbon cable from my original one from years and years and years ago that is broken, I thought must be a different ribbon cable than the later ones. But then when I looked on AliExpress, I was actually struggling to even find a ribbon cable for the AX43, which is my model. They certainly didn't have numerous different ones. So I thought, okay, let's go have a look at the ribbon cable to see if we can find out where the problem is. And what I've been doing is, with my, I'm actually filming on my good camera now, so you might find that the quality is a bit better. What I've been doing is using this and continuity, and it's like mirrored. So for example, the pin here will go to the pin here. So right will go to left, and then left will go to right. But I've gone across every single one. There's only one that's not getting there. This is the one on the actual camera, which is this one here. The fourth from the left-hand side is not doing anything. So every one is working. The fourth from the left-hand side is not going to the fourth on the right-hand side. So this is the connector that goes on the actual screen, and this is the connector that goes on the camera. So the fourth on the left-hand side here, which is the one on the camera, does not go to the fourth on the right-hand side here, which goes into the screen. And I presume the fourth one is responsible for the actual touchscreen. I presume, maybe not. But remember, this wasn't working on the touchscreen. So now, when I zoom in, that is where the extreme bends are. So if you have a look at the ones on this side, we go up and then we have an extreme bend there. Well, to be fair, we've got loads of extreme bends. But anyway, the one on here goes along here. It goes up here. So we have an extreme bend here. So it could have gone here. And then we have, it might well just be here, so it might be fixable. Because if I was to get a bit of flexible wire and then put UV mask on it, we might be able to remake. Fixing ribbon cables is very hard, but it might be able to be done. Also, now I'm more confident if I buy one from AliExpress that it might actually fix my camera, so I might actually buy a proper ribbon cable as well. But for the time being, let's see if I can get this working now. It could also have gone just here because we have an extreme bend just here. So it's good, well, we have an extreme bend here as well. This is folded over, so it could be gone here, it could be gone here, or it could be gone here. I think it's going to be okay from here to here because when we wiggle this bit here, we have connection. So that says to me it's probably going to be here, which out of everything would probably be the easiest one to fix. But let's zoom right the way in. Well, first of all, I want to show you the fourth one not working. So I've got it on continuity. Let's zoom in and hopefully you'll be able to see if I get the pins here and here. Watch this. Let me just get my head in the way just for 1 second. I might be able to just work my way across. So let's start on number 1, and you will hear it gets to here. Now I'm going to move my way to number 2, and you can see we've got it there. Now I'm going to move my way to number 3, and then move this along. You can see we've got it there. But now look, to number 4, we haven't got it. Can you see? We haven't got anything there. Look, there's nothing there at all. Yeah, so there's nothing on number 4. So I have a good look around the creases on the ribbon cable and I can't see any obvious signs of damage. So I'm going to take a midway point. I'm not going to go on one just by the connector. If I go on a midway point, then I can go from the end of the ribbon cable to that point and see if it's there, and then go from the other end of the ribbon cable to that point and see if it's there, and it will allow me to start breaking down. So if you're not sure where something is, if you start at one end, you could get all the way to the other ends before you find the problem. While if you go halfway, then you've already solved half of the problem, and then you can go a quarter way, and that way then, because when you go halfway, you know whether it's going to be on the 1/4 way or the 3/4 way, and you can start breaking down from there. So I get the grinding pen and I grind back, and sure enough there doesn't seem to be any connection there. Problem is, when you're using a grinding pen on a ribbon cable, it is very aggressive. I end up not just taking away pin 4 track, but also 3 and 2 as well. But it's fine because we can just repair them one by one. So I start on the pin 4 and I do actually get the soldered wire in place, and I'm quite happy. But I still have no continuity between the ends of the ribbon cable. So what's the point of me doing pins 2 and 3 if I've repaired pin 4 and it's still not there? So clearly it's gone on one of the other creases. I can't explain to you how much this ribbon cable is creased. Normally with ribbon cables you just have, well, no creases. But if you do, for example, if it was on like a Nintendo 2DS, 3DS type thing, XL 2DS, then you bend it through the hinge, but you don't have extreme creases. This has extreme creases, and if you've got extreme creases, you've got much more chance of it failing there, because I had a JLB speaker years ago that I did a video on, brand new, ribbon cable was gone, you couldn't turn it on because of an extreme crease when the person in the factory was plugging it in. This is an extreme crease in loads of different places all the time. So anyway, that is not a viable option to repair the ribbon cable. Then I think to myself, okay, let's go back to, because this ribbon cable here is the one from the camera years ago that failed. Let's go back to my ribbon cable because I know it displays a picture, I just haven't got any image. Let's see if I was just to replace pin 4 with a wire. So use the ribbon cable but also a separate wire. Let's see how we get on with that. Right, so this is the one here now, and obviously this is the screen. And I've noticed the way the ribbon cable works is, obviously in the ribbon cable they're all in a line, but on the actual connector it would be pin 1, pin 2, pin 3, pin 4, pin 5, pin 6. So it's moving. So pin 1, so what you see here would be 2, 4, 6, 8. It's not like 1, 2, 3 because the other pins are underneath. And if I go on to, so let's close this up now. I want pin 4, yes? And pin 4 comes up, so that's pin, I can't even see what I'm doing here now, but if I go here, it actually comes up to here. One of these ones up here. There. Right, so if I keep this here, you can hear it's going all the time. Hold on. There. So that's going all the time. Let go. Again, go in there. But when I go here on the ribbon cable, it's not coming up. So pin 4 is not coming up here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to be doing this off camera because I need to see what I'm doing. But I'm going to be running a wire from here, really long, because it's got to, going to put it on here and then put some glue on to keep it in place. Run it through the hinge somehow. Yeah. Gonna have to take this off, aren't I? To get the cable. I need to get it through here somewhere. And then run it down here and just run that separately. Maybe if I just do pin 4 it will be okay. And then as far as this is concerned, I've got to work out which pin 4 is here, because I'm not too sure at the moment. I'm hoping it's this side, but it could well be this side. I can't take that off because of the speaker. It could well be this side, but maybe I can see where pin 4, maybe pin 4 goes to one of these. I need to work out which is pin 4 and then find out where it goes to down here. In fact, let me work that out now because it might be useful for the video. Right, so how it works is pin 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is the second one along here. Annoyingly, it doesn't go anywhere else. It's just purely the little connection here. So I'm going to have to try to get a tiny wire onto here, which again is easier said than done. But let me give it a go. I'm going to be doing it off camera because I need to be looking real up really very close. And then we'll see. You never know. You never know. It may work.
Pure pain.
Right, so here's my long floppy wire that I've got to hide somewhere. What you forget is you have to leave plenty of slack because it has to be able to move like this. So clearly a wire is not going to last the same as a ribbon cable. But let's see now if the touchscreen is going to work. The screen's still working, which is good. No.
Ha ha.
It needs a new ribbon cable. Now the problem I have is I've already looked at the ribbon cables and they look nothing like the one that I have here. Also, they're not listed for AX43. So what I do is I unravel completely the ribbon cable to see what it should look like unraveled, because this thing is glued together everywhere. And actually now this is what it looks like. And because I've done this, it now allows me to match it up with the ones being sold online, even though they're not sold for an AX43. If the ribbon cables are the same, hopefully they will work. And just in case somebody wants to follow along at home and attempt to fix their own one, I've just completely separated out the ribbon cable and this is what it looks like. So I now need to go online and see if I can find one that looks like this, because when these are all stuck together, it doesn't look like that at all. But that's what it looks like. So maybe you can pause the video there or take a screenshot or something, and then hopefully you might be able to find one similar on AliExpress.
A few days later.
It is a couple of days later and my ribbon cables have arrived. So there's no way I would have recognised these ribbon cables unless I undone the other one fully. Now this is much harder than just replacing a normal ribbon cable because everything has to line up. You have these little bits of tape. They all need to go into each other. So let's put one of them away, because if I am lucky enough to get this working, I'm sure I'm going to run into the same problem probably in another year or so's time, because I don't know if this ribbon cable is going to be as strong as the original Sony one. So in hindsight, because hindsight is a wonderful thing, I should have just taken the ribbon cable out of my old camera, the one that's already broken from years ago, and then I could have just bought a ribbon cable from the very beginning. It's just that I thought doing the other things in the video might well sort it out, and that meant then I wouldn't have to get involved in buying a ribbon cable, but also seeing which one I need to get. But now that it's unraveled, it makes it a lot easier, because before when I was looking online I couldn't find the ribbon cable for this camera, but now when it's unraveled I can. Now I'm not 100% sure if it is the ribbon cable because it's not down as an AX43, but it looks exactly the same. Fitting this ribbon cable is a nightmare. Normally with ribbon cables you just lift up the catch on both connectors or insert them in with pressure and it works. But this one needs to be bent 45 degrees another 45 degrees, 3 ribbon cable bits stuck together, another 3 ribbon cables stuck together, and then bent again. That's before you even think about getting it through the hinge. So if you think working on a hinge device, again, like I keep saying, a Nintendo 3DS, then if you think that's bad, this is next level, because not only have you got to do all the bends, you've still got to get it through the hinge anyway. Luckily, I have a ribbon cable to copy, because I would have zero idea how to feed this through. But what I'm doing is I'm taking plenty of pictures on my phone, and I'm just undoing it bit by bit, and even then it's hard enough. Putting this in took me probably about half an hour. Now, this video is already way too long and probably unwatchable because I've spent a long time on it. So I'm just going to cut to the point now where the ribbon cable is in. I haven't done creases on the ribbon cable. I've done nice bends rather than creasing the ribbon cable, because I know that it's faulty because it's probably failed along a crease. So I haven't done extreme creases. I've just kind of more bent it round and stuck it rather than allowing it to be creased. So yeah, let's cut to the part of the video where I'm about to turn on and hopefully show you a working camera. Okay, let's put the battery in and see if you're going to work. I'm not out of the woods yet because I have to put it all back together, but come on, come on, come on. Hate you.
Ha ha.
Why are you not working? Why are you not working? Why the hell? Oh, I hate this thing. Oh, I hate you. Oh my god. Why the hell are you not working? Is it just me, or is it not even turning on? The ribbon cable. You're not even turning on. You're not even happy. I know the speaker's not plugged in, but I should be able to hear it go. I should be able to see that lock into place. Don't believe this. Before I had a working camera in HD, now I haven't got a working camera. It's blown it, hasn't it? The screen's blown something. It's not connected now, and it's not even, this is not resetting. Oh, and this is something to do with a magnet. Is the magnet not being recognised that it's do you know what I mean? Is that magnet still working? Yeah. I know it seems like there's a lot of moaning in this video, but it's just heartbreaking because this is something that I really need. It's not like a dehumidifier that, in all honesty, I'm only doing purely for the video. I don't need a dehumidifier in my life. I need this to make videos, and beforehand it still worked in HD. Well, right now it's not working at all. And what's just really weird is I've now spent the next half an hour. Honestly, this thing has taken me ages so far, and from this point onwards it still takes me ages, but I've got to make it into a video that's somehow watchable. For some reason the battery has now failed. Yeah, I know, weird. When I get the other battery in from the camera that I'm using, the camera comes back to life again. The screen does not work, and the touchscreen doesn't work, but at least the camera comes to life. So my battery is no longer working. I know it looks a bit of a mess. That's because I dropped it years and years and years ago, and it just cracked open. And then I think I used some glue, and also I got my soldering iron and just melted around it just to get it, to stop it from falling apart constantly. But it's been working perfectly for years and years and years, and now it's just happened to fail while I'm working on this. I think it is because Normally, I open up the screen of the camera, it boots up, I close the screen of the camera, I presume it like boots down. Is that a word? Shuts down. But what I'm doing a lot of the time here is I'm just taking the battery out. So it's kind of like hot swapping the battery when everything's live. So now the battery is completely dead. Yippee, I've got another video to make. I will do a video on why this battery's dead. I'm wondering if there's a fuse or something on the inside that's blown by me constantly just plugging it in, unplugging it, plugging it in, unplugging it. Maybe it gave some little surge or something that it wasn't happy with. So yeah, when I work out that it's not the screen causing the battery to fail, that it is actually the battery, I now need to think what I'm going to do. Luckily, I have got another spare ribbon cable. They gave me 2 in the kit. Right now, I'm thinking it's an incompatibility issue, and it could possibly be that the screen did something that took the battery out. But at this moment in time, as far as I'm concerned, everything's junk now anyway. I'm going to have to buy a new camera for, I think they're on Amazon for £800, I think it is, or 760. I think the reason it's so expensive, because I don't think I paid that for this. I think I paid 700 or 650 and then I got some cash back, is because people are using their phones nowadays. I don't think there's as many camcorders. I don't think the market for camcorders is as big as it was years and years ago. Yes, there's lots of YouTubers using cameras, but I use a camcorder because I don't want to get involved in all different lenses and stuff. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to try the ribbon cable without doing any folds or bends on it. Just plugging it into the screen and plugging it into the camera. Let's just see if the ribbon cable can work when I don't do any folds on it. We're in. Let's see now, are you going to work? Yes. Is touchscreen going to work? Oh my word, it only works. It works. So, was it my folding off it then that broke the ribbon cable again? You see how gentle I was? Right, this is actually good. I'm worried why it's flashing E. What does that even mean? It is coming up with some error code. Maybe that's because it doesn't see the magnet. Okay, it's working. Maybe that's because it doesn't see the magnet. Okay, well, I think when I put this one on, it was also fail, and I think I will then have to probably go and buy more. But weirdly, I am happy because there's still a chance that I might be able to fix this thing. It's given me something. It's taken up a lot of my time. It's taken a battery from me. But at this moment in time, when the camera's in bits, it is actually working and the touchscreen's working. So I don't think I've done any irreversible damage right now. So I put this ribbon cable in and I'm even more gentle with the bends. I'm even more gentle when it's going through the hinge. Let's cut to the part of the video where the ribbon cable is now in. We're going to see, will the camera at long last work? Will it be nice to me? Right, I've put this on exactly the same as I did this one here, but I was just even more gentle. So let's see now. Well, I might as well put it on properly because otherwise I might end up damaging the ribbon cable. If you were doing these all the time, already now that second one went so much easier. So if you had like 100 of them to do, I think it would get to the stage where you're doing those ribbon cables quite easy. The first time was a nightmare because I didn't understand it, but now I do, about having to go round twice. And you just start from the screen and then wrap it around and wrap it around and then go from there, and that seemed to work out okay. I really haven't forced the bends at all. As you can see here, I've barely even bent that round. So let's just try to get it in and let the connector hold it in. Right, the big moment of truth. Come on. Please, please, please give me this. Please, 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 please. Please. Yes! Come on, come on, come on, come on. Reset. Yes. Please. Please, please, please. Oh. Oh. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Oh my word. Oh my word, the touchscreen's working. It appears to be working. Are you going to close when I do this? Yes, you are. Are you going to liven up when I do this? Why did that battery break then? So you just have to be ridiculously careful with the ribbon cables. Oh, hallelujah. I got worried there because it didn't come up with Handycam. Oh, Vince. Oh, my word. I'm not out of the woods yet because I have to put it back together. But I've done that so many times now. Surely I'm not going to mess it up. I just have to make sure that I resolder the... resolder these ones here. Okay. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I know that I have got probably about 10 hours of footage on this. Let me just put it back together. I promise I won't turn it on until it's all back together, and then we'll see if we have sound and see if we have the touchscreen working, and then we'll see if it's still recording, just in case somehow I've managed to mess up the recording. I am going to buy more of these because I'm worried they might go out of stock. So £12.50, I'm going to buy more of them because they're incredibly fiddly, unless of course that was never working from the beginning, which is a possibility, but I think probably unlikely. I think it was maybe even the fold in here. You see there? That's quite an extreme fold just there. It could have been that. It might not have been this end here, or where it's going through the hinge. It could have been the extreme fold. So when I did it this time, I just kind of put a bit of tape on this part, and I left this bunched up here, because look, there's going to be a bit of room in the thing here. Why do I have to have it folded flat? There's going to be a bit of room in here. Who cares if it's bulging out? It's not going to force this off. Oh, amazing. I don't want to get happy because I've had so much disappointment. Okay, it is back together. So I've replaced that bit there. I've put this thing on from the other one. It's still the spring's still broken here, but there's more of it intact than the last one because the last one was all broken off here. And it's gone together okay, apart from here's a little bit baggy because remember I've got excess wire there now because the connector broke on my, sorry, this is from the first one, but my connector broke, so I've had to solder the wires directly onto the board. So at least if I have to take it apart again, I have excess wire that I can put it to the side because before it was only coming out about that far. Anyway, I think we are all back together. Let's just see, well I'll tell you what, let's do it when it's on. I want to make sure that it works all the way around. I have checked the speaker, so I did plug it in one more time when I soldered the wire and the speaker was working. Fingers crossed. Come on now. That's a good sign. I put the memory card in as well. I just felt it sort of boom when the gimbal went into place. That's working. 4K, which is what I want to do. Yes. Excellent. Okay, I've got nothing left on this memory card. Let's go back to HD. And let's see if it will play from the memory card. I'm going to show you how you can reset this back to factory settings. So we're going to... Yes! Result! Oh my god, that is so good. Okay, let's see now if this part works here. So that's still working there. I've got it there. And I've got it around to here. Okay, that's still working. Let me see now if it can go all the way around here, because I do use this. Careful, Vince. Yes! I've got my glasses on. Look. Amazing. Did you see it flip? So watch. See, that's it that way. If you can even see that, and now watch. Boom, it flipped. I know you can't see that. Oh my word, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Right, let me just clean the lens. Lens looks a little bit dirty. And I am going to finish up in the other room, we'll try recording something. Oh, God, it's so good. It's so good. I actually feel a bit like breathless, I think, from the... because it's an expensive item, you know, and I thought at one stage I completely ruined it. It appears to be working. I've just freed up a couple of minutes on the SD card, because remember before I couldn't do that unless I was to take the SD card, put it into my computer and delete the files that way. It's so much easier to do it from the screen here. So let's finish with a little bit of 4K recording, because that's what all this was about in the first place. I can see now that my speech is coming through here, which is good, so clearly the 3.5mm jack is still working. So we're going to go to here. We're going to go to HD. It's flashing like that, and also the error code's gone. It's flashing like that purely because the memory card is about to run out. 4K. So now let's do a little bit of recording. Let me just check zoom. So that's working. That's working. So testing, 1, 2, 3. Zoom there's working nicely. And let's come out, and we've got to check the speech as well. Right, okay, this should be in 4K. Turn it off, and let's play it back. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Zoom there's working nicely. Sounds perfect. And let's come out, and we've got to check the speech as well. Right, okay, this should be in 4K. Turn it off. Oh, hallelujah. Oh, that's just so good. Now, I'm not sure what this video is going to be like, because there's going to be huge sections cut, because to begin with, I got it working just by shoving glue and a thermal pad into the old ribbon cable. And then, you know, I finished up the video. Also, when I was recording on the camera I'm recording on now, thank God for my old camera still working, because I wouldn't have been able to film this one, I killed the power. I pulled my power lead and it went dead. So now that whole, I think, section of the memory card's not going to be working. So I'm not sure what is or isn't going to come out in this video, because I can't remember how long I was recording. It could have been recording for 20 minutes at that stage. Anyway, the long and short of it is that there seems to be a design fault on these cameras. It seems to be linked with the mount here. It's got nothing to do with opening and closing the hinge, because Sony would have tested that probably 10,000 times or 100,000 times. They would have had a machine doing this. Twist, twist. Probably going for weeks on end like that, which is the same as a user using it for maybe 5 or 10 years. Yeah. What they're not going to be able to test is, I don't think, screwing it into a mount, letting it hang, screwing it into a mount, letting it hang, screwing it into a mount, massive microphone on the top, top heavy, doing this all the time, on a mount that's wiggling because, you know, it's on a stand that's not fixed properly to the ceiling, so it's flexing and doing this. Every time you hit the table, it's doing this, and I think it's putting immense strain on the plastic here. Straight up from here is where the ribbon cable's going, straight up from that point there, and I think it's flexing, the plastic's hitting the ribbon cable, hitting the ribbon cable, hitting the ribbon cable, and then it just failed. So we proved it was pin, I think it was 4, that was gone, but then when I ran the pin, clearly in doing that, I've probably then knocked one of the other pins, because I think if pin 4's gone, what's stopping 2, 3, 1, 5 from going, etc. So yeah, that is it. Luckily, I got away with it this time. I'm hoping it's going to keep on working. I'm going to order up another 2 ribbon cables, because those ones might not be as good as the Sony ones, and they might only last 6 months or a year. I also need to do another video on this. Why has this suddenly failed? Was it something that I did today? Or was it coincidence? I find it hard to believe it was coincidence, so I think it was something I did today. But these are well worth fixing, because everything to do with this is expensive. So yeah, you're going to see another video of that coming up here shortly. So yeah, I'm so happy. So happy that that is now working, and I have my touch screen again, which is just fantastic. And it also works when I turn it here. You might be able to see it now. So turn, it's going to flip. Boom, it flipped there. So that is, oh, that's just brilliant. I'm well happy. I'm going to have myself a coffee and calm myself down, because I feel like a bag of nerves. If you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, I know it's a long one, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, my mate Vince is back in action. Thanks for watching.